What's up, everyone? Uh, I just wanted to make a video basically about that you can't get rid of the ego. And this is one thing that a lot of people, when they first get into spirituality, they think that they have to destroy their ego or they have to, like, fully get rid of their ego. The truth is, you're never going to get rid of your ego. Your ego is always going to be there until you leave this place. Now, you have to learn how to become friends with the ego in a way, because you are love, you are your heart, you are spirit. And once you know this, you're going to be able to resonate with everything around you. Like, you have to learn to understand your ego on a deeper level. Understand, overstand. Your ego is always going to be there until you leave this place. So instead of fighting with your ego, because most of the time, people think that they are their ego, and they're fighting in a realm of confusion. They're fighting within a place or within a box, and they don't understand that they are not their ego. They are spirit. They are the observer. You must learn to tame your ego, because you're not going to get rid of it. You're going to have to deal with your ego for the rest of your life. So you have to learn to use spirit, the spirit within you, your heart, to tame your ego. Because if you think of it like this, right? You kind of have to imagine your ego kind of like a beast, right? And if you go up to that beast, spirit is shapeless, spirit is formless, spirit is fearless. You got to go up to that beast and look that beast straight in the eye. And when that beast roars, you got to look him straight in the eye and make the ego know that you're not afraid of it. And the ego will back down. Once you break free from all the fear, because really, you know, it syncs up, the symbology syncs up so much. Why do you think, when these animals attack you, it's because you're fearful. It's the same way with the ego. When you're caught up in fear, your ego is kind of like instinct. It got that animal instinct. It's going to start attacking you. It's going to start getting out of control. But when you're spirit, you're fearless. And when you're fearless, you're not going to be afraid of anything that the ego does, because you're going to know exactly what it is. So, becoming fearless. Fearless is definitely a key when it comes to taming the ego, because when you are fearless, there is basically nothing that the mind can do to bring you down, because the mind will create mental projections, the mind will use your imagination, the mind will use your senses, your mind will use anything to distract you or take you out of a high, a loving frequency. You know, the mind is a tool, and you have to learn how to use this. You need to learn how to use this tool for progression. You need to learn how to use this tool for the right purposes. And the only way you're going to be able to learn to use this tool is tapping into your heart. Once you're able to tap into your heart and you're able to resonate with love and you feel the spirit inside you, you're going to know that you're fearless. You're going to know that you're limitless. And once you have fun, know that you are limitless, now there's nothing that the mind can do to stop you, because the mind is limited. The mind is still stuck in a box, but spirit isn't, because you can't put spirit in a box. So always remember, you guys are limitless, and you can't get rid of your ego. So you're gonna have to learn to use it for love. Choose love. allow your ego to choose love, because your ego is a wild beast. It doesn't know what to do, but you have to guide your ego in a sense, because you are spirit, and since you are spirit, you have to guide. Though, like, your ego doesn't know. Your ego is wild. It doesn't understand. Like, it's programmed to, basically put you into a lower vibration. But once you reprogram your mind, because that's the thing, the ego wasn't always like that. They just reprogrammed, in our civilization today, they've reprogrammed our minds and our egos to actually bring us down in consciousness. But before, our egos were actually programmed to bring us up in consciousness, because the ego is a really, really powerful tool that you can use. And once you're able to tap into your ego and use it for love, because love is the key, but you have to use the negativity. You have to use everything in this matrix. Like, the way how I see it is, you have to use the box and everything within the box to protect spirit. So, like, spirit created the box and spirit created everything within the box, but you have to use everything, the box itself and everything within the box, for love. And spirit, spirit is, formless, and you got to be able to just use the tools that you have, not only just the mind, the ego, but also your body. Your body is such an intelligent, like, vessel, and there's, like, so many things you can do with your mind and body. Now, I'm not saying, like, to start tuning into your mind and body, because you have to first tune into spirit. Because, like, I've already tuned into spirit, and I'm continuing to tune in and find my true self. So, I'm able to actually reprogram my mind and fix certain things that's going on in my mind and tune into my body, because I've already tapped into spirit. But you guys out there who are first getting on your spiritual path, you first have to connect with your true self in order to start working, because it goes spirit, mind, and body. Now that I've connected with my spirit, now I'm starting to understand the mind, and I'm starting to learn that you can't get rid of your ego. It's always going to be there. Sometimes your ego is going to spike at moments, but you got to be able to learn to maintain it. Like, you got to be able to learn to turn on the switch and turn off the switch. You know what I'm saying? You have to have that leash. Your spirit is infinite. The ego, is limited until you allow it to be limitless. You know what I'm saying? So, let's stay aware. Let's keep staying aware, and let's realize that we have to learn to work with the ego, but, like, for love. Once you connect with spirit and you allow your heart and your ego to become friends, basically, because once the ego chooses love, that's when you're just going to truly just resonate on a high vibration, because now your mind is programmed for you to turn up into higher vibrations and higher frequencies and reach higher states of consciousness. And once you're able to do that, you're going to go through a whole bunch of doorways. You're just going to keep turning up. So, yeah, this video is getting pretty long now, but just a simple video on taming your ego, because it's always going to be there until you die. So, yeah, my full love, family. Let's keep turning up. My full love.